Yo, what is going on, guys? Jack here, and hopefully you are good. Today, I've got for you guys episode 8 of our Arsenal playthrough here on Football Manager 2015, and today I have two matches against potentially the two biggest teams in world football, Manchester United and Real Madrid. So first and foremost, a bit of a recap since last episode. It has been a very long period of time. In fact, it's been almost 2 months to be precise. The last game we had, of course, was that emphatic 5-1 win against Manchester City. Since then, loads of games to tell you about. I'm not going to go into too much detail because, as I mentioned, it's been 2 months. It's been a long time. A lot of stuff has changed, but the only defeat to come in this period of time was actually a 3-2 defeat at Sunderland, bizarrely. A game that we should have won. We didn't deserve to lose, but we did. Sunderland, bottom of the league at the time of playing them. I do not believe they are much improved now either, if we just check real quick. Yeah, still rock bottom. One of 3 wins to come against me. So that's not great at all, really. But since then, things have kind of gotten better. They've slowly improved. 2 back-to-back 2-0 wins against QPR was a nice way to start. I'm just going to put on a more detailed view because I'm not going to go into all the match overviews. We then beat Hull 2-0, which was good. A bit of, a bit of revenge after the previous outing against them, where, of course, we did lose 3-2. We then played Colchester in the FA Cup third round. I played a completely rotated side. We won 7-1. That was a great result. And I must admit, 7's kind of been a recurring theme. You can see some of these wins that we now have to cover getting more and more emphatic. We beat Burnley 5-1 away from home. A good result there. Royce with 2. We then beat Southampton 7-1 on a game that was televised. Outrageous stuff. As you can see, Sanchez grabbing himself a hat-trick, which was really good. Giroud with 2, Royce with 1, and Boric with an own goal. We then beat Everton 3-0. We then followed things up with a 7-0 win again against Aston Villa. Another crazy game. Another 7-goal thriller in our favour. Or 7 goals in our favour. It wasn't a 7-goal thriller because the other 2 were 8 goals. But this isn't a maths YouTube channel, it's Football Manager, so let's talk about the football. Raheem Sterling, Sanchez with 2, Guzan, another goalkeeper and goal, a little bit odd, and a new name on the list, yes, Samuel Umtiti, I hope I'm saying that right, answers on a postcard. I picked up from Lyon, is it Lyon or is it Lyon? I remember during a few years ago when I played them, everyone moaned at me, I'm pretty sure it's Lyon, if it's Lyon, I'm sorry, but it's Leon. It is Lee. I'm going crazy. I'm a poet. Anyway, we did win that game, of course, 7-0. Umtiti got a goal. I can't remember if that was his debut, actually, that Villa game, but nevertheless, a fantastic signing. He's joined us for 800k. His contract runs out at the end of the very first season. I was able to approach him on a pre-contract and then agreed to sign him for 800k. The kind of centre-back position is always a bit of a questionable one, and it has been this year. I was always a little bit worried that we maybe lacked a little bit of strength, kind of in depth at that position. So just bringing in Umtiti gives us a little bit more room to manoeuvre there. You can see here, Debuchy and Chambers both been out injured. Both our right backs. That has proved pretty problematic because we don't have a third choice right back. So Koscielny's been filling in way out of position, but he's done an okay job there. Anyway, the biggest run and the biggest win kind of this good run came against Chelsea, a game that I did contemplate live comment, but given kind of, I guess, the franticness of the last few games where I was kind of, I've got to be honest, I got into the FM zone, and also with the fact that we've kind of got this frantic schedule coming up of the fact we've got to play Manchester United, then Real Madrid, then next episode we've got Manchester City, then Real Madrid. I didn't want to go too overkill on the episodes. Anyway, Chelsea opened the scoring here. They made it 1-0 after 25 minutes, but it was a superb fight back by us. 4 goals coming our way. The first was a Royce free kick that rebounded to Sanchez. And you can see here that this goal came in the 38th minute. Our 4th goal came in the 61st. We just had a 25-minute spell either side of half-time where we just looked dominant. We rampage. Sanchez there with another goal. Another goal within kind of the 6-yard box as well, which is kind of good to see. Good to see the inside forwards in our formation really pushing on. You can see here Courtois in goal for Chelsea, of course. Cech was in goal, I believe, when we met them before in the Capital One Cup where they hammered us. And in the league, I believe it was Cech it was Courtois before. I can't remember, but Chelsea with 2 amazing goalkeepers. They like rotating them around, it seems. But anyway, those were the first 3 goals, and we put a cherry on top of the cake as we got our 4th goal of the game. A great way to seal a win against a team who we have been long overdue a victory against, and it kind of, I guess, adds on to the list of big wins against bigger oppositions that we've kind of got on this save. Of course, we did hammer Manchester United and Manchester City. So that's kind of nice. It was a good result. We then hammered Everton 4-0. Everton in this save are not a bad team by any means. We beat them 4-0. Sterling, Sanchez and Giroud with the goals. If I show you here, looking at the competition, you can see Everton down in 4th place. We'll come onto the league table shortly, but another great result there. And we followed things up with 2 more wins, 1 in the league, 1 in the FA Cup. You can see here we beat Crystal Palace 2-0 as we left it late. 2 goals coming in the last 15 minutes. And the other game we had was against Hull in the FA Cup, a tournament I'd like to do well in potentially. It'd be nice to retain it as Arsenal. You can see here, we were always in control of this game. We always held the lead. We actually went 2-0 up. Hernandez pulled it even, but in the second half we extended our lead and managed to get another 4-1 win. So that's the schedule. It's been a pretty action-packed and kind of successful run that we've been on. We've done really, really well over the last few games, and it's surpassed a lot of my expectations this run, particularly the Chelsea win as a highlight, but overall, just the overall goal scoring has been emphatic. With the exception of the Sunderland game, we've not conceded more than 1 goal in a game, and when you look at our Premier League games, we've only actually conceded in 3 of them, which is pretty darn impressive. A lot of clean sheets and a really good defensive performance by our team by and large across this kind of recent run of results. In terms of what's happened over January, with the exception of the Umtiti signing, one major kind of talking point, I guess, was the fact that Giroud announced his intentions to join Juventus. I told him that he wasn't going. I then had a load of my players come and moan about the fact that I wasn't going to let him go. I told them to shut up. Half of them loved it, the other half hated it. So we have a little bit of a divided change of room. Szczesny, Wilshere, Ozil, Marcelo, Flamini, all unhappy about the treatment of Giroud. Giroud himself unhappy. So that's a little bit disappointing. But with the exception of that, not too much drama going on, really. I was almost expecting a few more players to maybe try and force themselves moves. I did look to sell Walcott, which I think I touched upon a little while ago. Nothing came of that. The only real transfer happening in the window was Ospina. That was kind of the big one, just our backup keeper. Not doing well for us. He wasn't playing first team football. We managed to get £6 million for him, which isn't too bad at all. You can see here, Szczesny's the only first team goalkeeper. I have got an okay, I guess, number 2. You could say we've got Martinez, who's quite adequate, I guess, for what we're going to need of a keeper. He's well enough rounded off so that if I really get desperate and need the second choice keeper, he's there. But generally speaking, keepers don't tend to get injured, and I'm kind of willing to hedge my bets that Szczesny's not going to get injured. Hopefully he doesn't. If not, we may have an issue. So injuries have been a little bit of an issue. I can show you here players recovering from injury. You can see Walcott, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Chambers and Debuchy all kind of on the road to recovery. With the exception of them, there's been a few going on, but nothing too major. In terms of our actual team's playing really well still. Obviously, we've gone on a crazy goal-scoring run. As a result, you can see here Sanchez, Royce, Giroud and Sterling with a crazy, crazy combined total number of goals. It's something outlandish. I'm going to quickly do the math. I believe it works out at 75 goals. That's really quick. 40, 59... Yeah, 75 goals, which is really impressive for a front four. Really, our tactic working wonders. I have made a few little amendments to that in terms of the actual player roles and instructions. So you can see here, the roles have stayed pretty similar, to be honest. Ball-winning midfielder and deep line playmaker in the centre, the inside forwards, the shadow striker. The advanced forward, I've kind of been playing around with the idea of having this as a target man. Kind of gone back to the advanced forward, if I'm honest. At the back, nothing too spectacular. The wing backs and centre backs remain the same. One of the big changes I've made was a change to the tactic, because one of my philosophies is to kind of dominate possession and retain possession. And it was something, I say, as I get a weird bug involving the positional bit of a goalkeeper. Can we fix that? We are on the beta, of course, so just a reminder of that, because I know someone's going to mention it. There we go, okay, it's gone. Let's go back to the board screen now. So one of the board expectations is that we retain possession and play possession football. It's been something that's been a little bit lacking. I have now ditched the direct style of football in terms of the hoofball that I was at one point encouraging. You know, this tactic has slowly evolved over this year. The current tactic is fairly simple, to be honest. We've got exploit flanks, play wider, higher tempo. And then I've dropped playing more direct, and in a bid, I guess, to play a little bit better possession football, what I've done is I've added player instructions to the three attacking midfielders, and I've put on close down more. One of the big disadvantages, I guess, with the 4-3-1 is the fact that sometimes you're lacking men in midfield. So encouraging my players to close down more, it does mean that the inside forwards put in a lot more of a shift in terms of tracking back and really trying to apply to pressure to wingers and fullbacks in the right situations. And then also Ozil or whoever ends up playing the shadow striker role, closing down more, they're more than willing to chase back down the middle and really, I guess, prevent any kind of deeper player on the opposition team who's potentially looking to dictate play from having a lot of time on the ball, which is quite nice. So that's worked a little bit for us in terms of the possession. I wouldn't say it's kind of reinvented things completely, but it's helped. Today, as I mentioned, we have got the Manchester United followed by the Real Madrid game. We're going to get into this Manchester United game. I'm pretty satisfied, I think, with my squad starting 11. There's nothing I'm going to change here. Koscielny is going to be playing out of position at right wing back. That's just an unfortunate side effect of the injuries. Fortunately, Callum Chambers has only got 4 days left, so he should be back just about for the Real Madrid game. And also, Debuchy's not out for too much longer now, just a little over a week. So anyway, we'll submit our team here. One thing I didn't really mention before was over the Christmas period, of course, you have all the awards going on. We featured very highly, and we have featured very frequently in a lot of the kind of, what would you call it, awards, especially European ones. We had Sterling win the European Golden Boy, which of course is for the best young prospect in Europe, which is a really good award for him to win. His performances for England definitely helped him with that. We also had him come runner-up in the Ballon d'Or, which was just incredible. I have had to report that as a bug on the forum because I personally don't think that should happen, despite how good he has been for us. And we also had 4 players in the World Team of the Year, those being Marcelo, Sanchez, Sterling, and then Royce on the bench. So that was really impressive. But anyway, we have a chance here. Sanchez, options in the middle. Rafael clears it. Wilshere will mop up. Koscielny, the makeshift fullback, puts in a ball. The keeper screws up. De Gea with an absolute howler there. We go 1-0 up after 1 minute. I mean, if we could match our 5-1 win from earlier on in the season, I'd be amazed, but right now we have come out the traps flying, as now it's 2-0 after 5 minutes. Welbeck with a goal, the 4th of his season, a player who's struggled for the first half this year. I've really encouraged him though as a player to kind of develop, to keep kind of sticking with him. I've kind of given him a little bit more of an opportunity to play, especially with the recent unhappiness to Giroud. You know, I want happy players playing, and to be honest, he's rewarded me. He's now finding some form, which is good to see. We almost made it 3-0 there. Ozil with a chance from Shadow Striker, however, battered away this time by De Gea. Interesting to note, Aaron Ramsey playing, of course, our former player, a player who I'm a little fearful of, if I'm honest, but Welbeck with a chance here. Ozil, another chance to get a goal, which we've kind of not converted. So far, so good. Game plan's looking like it's working. Manchester United having a little bit more of the ball, but they're not having it in very advanced areas, which is good to be able to say. You can see looking at the passes, they've had a lot more passes, but they're not creating a lot from them, as Khedira with a fine bit of defending there, although the ball's not clear. Di Maria with maybe an option to put it into the middle. Khedira again. What a monster. And now maybe we can break from this set piece. Ozil chips through Welbeck. Evans. De Gea force a mistake. Nice play. We've applied some pressure here, high up the field, closing down all the players. Good to see that attacking midfield trio really putting in a shift. I do definitely feel like the kind of philosophy of applying more pressure and telling them to close down more has worked wonders for us. As Szczesny produces an absolute wonder save. Falcao from 6 yards out, unable to bury it. I'm going to tell my players here that we've got a solid lead, but let's keep it up. Some players not reacting well to that, which is a little bit of a shocker if you ask me. But let's try and encourage them to keep performing. Come on. Let's step things up. Hopefully now we can just maintain this. A win here would be crucial away from home against Manchester United. Never an easy place. But given our form, I think we went into this really favourites. Our form has been incredible. In terms of where this will leave us in the league, I'll show you guys shortly. This is the early kickoff today, so we have a chance to really extend our lead and really put pressure on the 3 o'clock kickoff games. As Koscielny doing well in that right fullback position, really doing some good work for us. As now Raheem Sterling picks it up. Options inside Wiltshire to Kadira. Ozil. Wiltshire again. Welbeck. Bury that, Welbs. Rebound. And he hits it miles over. And that will be the end of that. So anyway, let's make some changes here. Royce having a little bit of a rest, but I'm going to bring on Marcelo for Gibbs. Just add a little bit more quality there. Sanchez is struggling a little bit for fitness, so I am going to bring... I was about to say I was going to bring on Joel Campbell, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to move Raheem Sterling to right wing, and then going to drop Welbeck into the left wing, and then give Giroud just half an hour. He's not 100% fit, Giroud. He's coming back from a little bit of a knock, which is why Welbeck's had a little bit of first-team football. But hopefully we can just go out now and hopefully seal the deal. Although Raphael there winning the ball high up. Mertesacker, the wall, putting in an incredible tackle. And now Welbeck is through again and he skies it again. 4 clear-cut chances, only taking 2 of them. Not ideal, but we're doing okay. Wiltshire, options in the middle. Welbeck bangs it in. Of course he bangs it in. Apparently another own goal by the keeper. That seems to be a little bit of a recurring issue in FM at the moment. Hopefully that's fixed. Of course, as I mentioned, this is the beta build. But regardless, at 3-0 up, we are laughing. We are having a laugh here. If we could keep another clean sheet, that would be fantastic away from home at United. Koscielny gets absolutely clattered. I love the thought of Koscielny playing right back. I've got to be honest, it's just such an odd... I can't imagine it. Especially like trying to put in some crosses. Of course, he did have a cross that led to the first goal, so I can't really kind of criticise him or mock him too much because he's proven his worth. But disappointing there by Marcelo, and Falcao now is through. Mertesacker, what an absolute monster. Can he put in another tackle? Kadira that time mopping up. The Germans are linking up, and now another German almost on the ball there, Ozil. But unfortunately, it's not working out right now. It's not. Rooney's through. He has an effort. It hits the woodwork. Falcao mops up. That will make it 3-1. And a bit like last time we played Manchester United, we've just not been able to see out the clean sheet. It's something that I have a feeling last time we played United, it was a late goal we conceded. It's happened again. Fortunately, I don't think it's going to be too costly unless Mata can now bury this and really put the pressure on. But another great tackle. And now can we look to break? Giroud holding up the ball, looking for the legs of Ozil, but defended well again. And to be honest, since that kind of early wobble, Manchester United have kind of matched us this game. You look at the stats, certainly in the second half they've created a lot more opportunities, as now Rooney has a chance to square it to Falcao, who buries it. And suddenly with, 9 minutes left? 9? I'm a little bit worried. Just a little bit. I'm going to drop Wiltshire in a little bit deeper as a deep line playmaker. Just set him to the defend duty. Hopefully just mark out the space in the game. We've now... I don't want to say we've got to hold on, because that almost makes it sound like we're playing negatively. I still want us to really go out there and attack and hopefully catch United out as they commit men forward. But wow, Rooney with a chance here. He's got to bury it. Szczesny with a fantastic save. Can it be cleared? It will be. That is an absolute let-off. Szczesny coming to the rescue. And I'll tell you what, if you've been watching this save very closely, especially in the live comms it seems, Szczesny in his one-on-ones has been absolutely incredible for us in terms of making saves. Rooney here with a chance. Szczesny with another save. And true to his description and the kind of label I just gave him in terms of being this monster in the one-on-ones, he makes a save, and that may well get us a point. I'll tell you what, Szczesny deserves man of the match. He has made some key saves here. Mertesacker with a good interception. Clock slowly ticking away. I think this is going to be all she wrote, unless United are going to put a very late sting in the tail. Rooney's through. Szczesny, he's not going to pull the trigger there, Rooney. I'm surprised. And now we win the ball up, and that is that. 3-2. What an away win. Important. We were not convincing, but it's a good win nevertheless. And it sees our lead at the top of the table extend to 14 points. With just 11 games left, we are looking good for this title right now. So anyway, guys, I am going to skip forward to the Champions League first game of the kind of knockout round, where we will be taking on Real Madrid in the first leg. Hopefully we can get some away goals. So I will talk to you guys in just a second. Okay, guys, so today is match day. We are taking on Real Madrid in a winner-takes-all, well, it's not winner. I guess the winner does take all, but it's the Champions League knockout round. It's the first round. We got a tough draw. Real Madrid finished second in their group. Hopefully we can get the result that we need. We are going to be away from home, so away goals are going to count for a lot. Looking at the starting 11, you can see it here. I'm going to get it up on the tactics view. In goal, we've gone with Szczesny, left back Gibbs, Koscielny and Mertesacker in the middle, Chambers out at right back, centre mids, partnership of Ozil and Khedira, then Royce, Sterling, Sanchez, Giroud up front. Looking at the bench, we are without defenders. Yes, it's a little bit of an issue. We are playing Wiltshire, Diaby, Walcott, Welbeck, Rosicky and Joel Campbell, and you're probably wondering, well, Jack, why are there no defenders? Why do you only have 6 players on your bench? The reason is we are plagued with injuries and suspensions for this game. Of course, Flamini and Balanta both got sent off in their last game of the group stage a few episodes ago. Looking at our defence, you can really see where the problem lies. 4 of our defenders missing for this game. Umtiti's not registered. I had faith in the squad that I'd already registered to kind of work their magic. In terms of the team who played in the group stage, I wanted to keep it the same, so Umtiti missed out as kind of a player on the limit. And I kind of felt like, well, we've not had too many injuries to defenders, we should be okay, but Debuchy's out injured, Marcelo's out injured, so that's our first choice, fullback's out, that could be problematic. Balanta's banned, so we are without any defenders on the bench, and if you look at our under-21s, we just lack coverage there, so yeah, that's not really ideal going away to Real Madrid, is it? With the exception of that, our team looks fairly strong, and our actual starting 11, perhaps if you kind of glance over the fullbacks, is a pretty darn strong squad. So anyway, I've got my starting 11 already sorted. This is the team that I have faith in. It's a team who I guess in terms of the midfield and strike force, I'd consider to be my strongest 11, which is a good kind of situation to be in. As you can see here, we're actually favourites to win. Although the pundit thinks we're going to lose. Apparently the missing players of Umtiti, Chamberlain and Debuchy are going to be big, of course. Also Marcelo missing out, and he's out with a sprained wrist, so he is going to miss the second leg. So anyway, getting asked in our dugout kind of interview about the missing Marcelo. I've got faith in these boys regardless. Let's get some encouragement going. I'm going to tell the players I've got faith in them. This is probably one of the toughest ties you can play in FM away against Real Madrid. You can see here how they're going to line up. It's going to be a 4-1-2-3 or a 4-3-3 with wingers, depending on how you want to look at it. Cruz here with a set piece, going to whip it in, headed away by Mertesacker. Gareth Bale there on the right. Royce picks it up. A bit of a clash of the titans with Royce and Bale sharing the same wing. Be interesting to see who can come out on top there, of course. Benzema's through. Smashes it over. That is a let-off. 6 minutes in, Real Madrid tear us open for the first time. And immediately here I can see that there's going to be an issue this game. Immediately I'm kind of a little bit worried. And as a result, I'm going to make a change that I made against Manchester City. And I'm going to switch to the 4-3-3. The 4-3-3, which actually I should really just be actually training and making an actual kind of effort to get our team familiar with it, but regardless, you can see the familiarity, get there eventually, is unaccomplished, so it could be a little bit worse. But anyway, we'll see how we get on there, adding in that Anchorman, hopefully going to give us a little bit more strength. You can see here, looking at the stats, it's been a pretty drab affair in this first half. Real Madrid have looked like the better side, but they've not done anything yet. I tell the players I'm far from pleased. I want them fired up for this game. This is an opportunity, if we can grab 1 goal, to really give ourselves an advantage. Even if we concede 2, just that 1 away goal could make all the difference. Our defensive record's been very impressive in all competitions, and I'd back ourselves to kind of concede or keep a clean sheet with a better, stronger kind of back four, particularly in the fullback areas, against Real Madrid at home. But anyway, Benzema there with an incredible run. Szczesny with another fantastic save, however. Royce apparently has made a lot of mistakes. Cruz whips in the ball. Sanchez is going to pick it up. Can we break fast here? We have pace in abundance. Khedira. Chambers out on the right. Can he thread in Sterling? He can. Raheem's in. He hits it. It hits the post. It's a scramble in the box. Royce is there. It's found its way in. Giroud with the goal. his 19th of the season, and with 57 minutes on the clock, we get ourselves a scrappy goal. It hit the woodwork twice, I think. I'm not going to complain. Fantastic there. Gibbs is now injured. Well, that is bloody brilliant because I have no defenders. So he can't come off, and Marcelo's already injured long-term, so we are risking aggravating a long-term injury here, but it's a risk I'm going to have to take. Balanta is, of course, suspended for a second yellow, so I believe he would be available for the second leg of this game, and he can play left-back. So we have got a alternative there, although Ronaldo on the ball here, Arbeloa, options in the middle. Can we defend this? Benzema with the near post header. Arbeloa with the assist. A nice little bit of play, to be honest, by them. Chambers a little bit disappointed defensively to allow the ball to get into the box, especially the near post. However, things could be worse. Things could be worse. Anyway, Real Madrid on the attack here. Khedira puts in a tackle, but Ronaldo down the left. He whips the ball in. Bale's there. Fantastic save by Szczesny. He bails us out yet again. And now I'm going to make some changes. We're looking a little bit tired. I'm going to take off Raheem, I think. I'm also going to take off Royce, who, as my assistant kind of drew attention to, has been a little bit disappointing, as has Sanchez, really. But I'm going to make two changes there. I'm going to keep Sanchez on just because he's got a tiny bit more condition. And also I feel like Welbeck's raw, explosive pace could help a little bit out wide on the left, cutting inside on his right foot. But anyway, on the attack here, Arbeloa whips in the ball. Cristiano Ronaldo, ball is dealt away here. Can we now look to break Gibbs, despite his knock, on the overlap for Royce? If he wants it, Royce keeps going and then just stops going with the ball, and Bale picks it up. However, Raheem here, who I have subbed off, given away the ball, and now Benzema's through. Szczesny, can you go big? He can go big! Fantastic save there by the Polishman in goal. Right, I'm going to pause it here. Team talk. I've not done one of these in a live com yet. Aggressive. Demand more. Let's ask for more from the players. Let's tell them that we want them to just keep at it. Attack here. Ramos cleared away. We are living life on the edge. I think it's time to make some tactical changes. I think there's another highlight coming up as well as I pause this, which is a little bit annoying, but I'm going to switch to a more defensive system here. We're going to go a little bit more direct. I want us to drop a little bit deeper. Try and get a little bit compact, not get as wide. Let's just keep ourselves secure in the middle. Back post header, scramble in the box, and Cristiano Ronaldo buries it for Real Madrid. Not a particularly traditional Ronaldo-esque finish, however, he does get it in. And as I mentioned, I fancied us at 2-1. I said, if we can get an away goal, that's going to be huge. Giroud here. Giroud! Probably should have scored. That was a fantastic opportunity, and it's gone way over in the end. It's gone way over. But still, as I mentioned, 2-1 wouldn't be bad, although there is potentially another highlight here. There's 3 minutes left on the clock. Is there a late goal available that could swing the tie in either team's favour? Real Madrid bring the ball forward here. Arbeloa, Chambers with a fantastic tackle. Can we launch a counter-attack? That is a risky ball across our own 18-yard box. And Real Madrid going to recycle possession. Cruz, Benzema turns. Ronaldo scores. And he's going to make it 3-1. And that's a hammer blow there. That is a shot to the heart. We were looking good here. We were looking so good. We were 1-0 up. And Ronaldo's grabbed himself a brace and propelled Real Madrid within touching distance of the next round, unfortunately. Maybe a late chance here. Giroud not going to come to anything, unfortunately. And that is going to see this tie finish, I do believe, 3-1. Disappointing in the end. We matched Real Madrid for so long, but our performance tailed off by the end. A lot of build-up play from Real Madrid coming from out wide. Perhaps the lack of Marcelo and Debuchy was a bit of a difference maker there. Ronaldo out on the left gave Chambers a torrid time and he couldn't match him. But alas, we have got an away goal. All is not lost. But you'd have to say, to concede 2 goals in the last 10 minutes to really swing the tie in Madrid's favour is going to kind of shift where the momentum goes going into that final game. You can see here, Real Madrid dominated. How long is Giggs going to be out for? He's got a groin strain, so it could be worse, I guess. Estimated to be 2 to 3 weeks. I think that's going to mean that he misses the next game. I think. Let's check the schedule here. When is the Real Madrid game? It is in a little over, well, it's 3 weeks. He may well be back. We may have a few players fit for that, which is good to be able to say. Well, anyway, guys, that is going to wrap things up there. We have got the Man City game coming up next episode, and then we follow things up with the second leg against Real Madrid. Be interesting to see if we can turn things around. Our European campaign has been kind of patchy, to say the least, you'd have to say. You can see here our group form was shady. We did well to win the league if we were a little bit fortunate at the same time. However, that 3-1 defeat hurt. It did hurt. But anyway, hopefully you guys will join me next episode. Hopefully we can turn things around. As always, if you have enjoyed, if you could smash the like button, it helps me out. If you're new to my channel, subscribe for more Football Manager 2015 videos. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.